Okay, in this video I want to go over Valerie Allman from two different views. It's something I've been trying to put together for a while, so finally gonna get it done. Just watch her in slow motion here, going through the throw. These are obviously two different time periods. Alright, let's start with the video on the left. That is a really far windup. She's got the discus way over here. That's a lot of shoulder flexibility. I wanted to come back right here. I've always wondered, does she shift or doesn't she shift her upper body? So I'm going to put a couple of lines here right about where her armpits are. Then she's going to hit this position again right here. Let me correct this one over just a little bit. Right about there. Okay. So now she's pretty much centered up. There's the center of the circle right there. You can see the two sector lines. And let's see if she comes back after a wind up. She should be shifted over, and there she is. So she shifted over to the left here, at least her upper body. It's still vertical, so she's definitely shifting over. Wanted to take a look at her armpit to her foot. She does something unique. I don't really see any other throwers doing this, where her armpit is in line with the ball of her foot. Most throwers don't have this knee pushed out this far. Usually the knee's back a little bit further and the armpit is more aligned here at the middle of the foot. But so what she's doing is unique here. She's going to rotate right around that line with her foot. See the left knee just drop in. Okay. So when she starts up, she starts her wind up to the left here. She has both legs extended. Left leg is vertical. Right leg's at this angle, but they're both straightened out. She's going to come sink down a little bit, both knees. Go to her right and hit that same mirror position where she has both legs straightened out again. And here she's tall, the tallest point. So I'm going to put a line right here at the top of her head. And you're going to watch her sink down. I see a lot of people that they start tall here and they don't sink down. Okay, she's sinking as she's bending her knees. Okay, so you can see that. Okay. Another thing I want to point out, I'm going to put an arrow right here on her hip and her knee. She doesn't turn right away. If you watch this left foot, she lets her upper body turn a little bit first. But what she does is she drops down. See that? She's not trying to get her lower body to shift over too much. She's trying to drop it down so she can create this left side, this left hip axis. Not way out here, but almost straight down the middle. See right there? She sets it up here, and she comes back to it right here. And I see her just dropping straight down right here as her first movement. You see the foot's not turning. It's just kind of, the heel's just moving a little bit because the knee's dropping. Just very interesting. Another thing is when she hits this position right here, she hits this position again here. So you see a lot of symmetry in the things she does, or kind of a rhythm or a repeat. Like during her wind-up where we saw, she's here, then she comes here. Okay. All right, let's get into the throw a little bit. You can see how wide apart her knees are. Her toe is on the ground and her heel is lifting up. The knee is not turning inward. The knee is actually comes forward a little bit. See, as it turns, it comes forward as that heel picks up. And then real important right here, she's got this angle with her between her hip and her knee. She's got this really stretched out, this hip flexor, so that she can really snap that forward into the kick as she sweeps that right leg forward. I think that's part of the reason she's really so fast with that. Here too, she's got the foot horizontal, the shin, and then she brings it up one more level, up higher, right here. You can see it on the video on the right too. Right here, and then up higher, so she can really kick with that. Now, most people teach to not lead with the front of the thigh and the top of the foot, but that is exactly what she's doing. She's sweeping in and kicking here. I like to think she's kicking like around a cone or a Christmas tree, where this is like the lower branches. This is kind of the trunk. She's kicking around, sweeping around in that cone-shaped path. And you see she lifts her toe right here. I'm not sure why. I'm thinking maybe that's so she can hook it in right here. You can see the toe up and then it hooks in as it drops. Let's see if we can see that on the right video. Here you see the toes forward, now up, turns, and kicks inward. Okay. You can see too as she lands, her foot's not plantar flexed, not really dorsiflexed, but it's got this 90-degree. So she's waiting for the ground right here. She's not really reaching for it. You can see that nice bend in her right knee. Okay. You can see as she this foot is just about ready to come off. She gets that heel up to vertical, the left heel, and right there it's off. And as soon as it's off, that right knee is up. She got this bend in the knee. The foot is below. Okay. So she keeps that leg here, it's bent, kicks it out straight, then she brings the knee up, lets the foot drag below so that she can land with the hip on top of the foot. So she can turn quickly with the bent knee. Now let's see if she sinks down anymore. From right here, she'll sink right there. Let's put that line on her head again. Let's see if she sinks anymore. Looks like a little bit, yeah, right there. Just a little bit of a sink. Now, it's possible that what I'm seeing is she's going below that line, but it could be just because of her angle of her body. If she has this angle here, does she change the angle? Let's take a look on the video on the right. You can see she's coming out of the back. She's got her left shoulder just a little bit ahead of the left hip. So her torso is pretty much straight up, just a little bit, the shoulder's a little bit ahead of the hip. She comes around, and you can see here the right hip is coming up with the discus. And you can see how she's got her upper body leaning way away from this foot. So when she lands, her body, Her chest, her shoulders are way ahead of the hip, and even ahead of the knee. So she's got this angle here from her head to her torso, and that matches the angle here of her shin. So that's quite an angle. That's people always ask me, how do you not shift your hips forward? Well, this is one way to do that, is to have this this really high angle here, or I guess low angle, but a high degree of an angle, where she's got her body way leaned over to 12 o'clock here, the back of the circle. That'll keep you from falling and having your upper body moving forward to the front of the circle. And then she's just simply going to try to rotate there, keep her upper body back. So from right here, we're wondering, does she sink anymore? Let me put a line on top of her head from this direction. Let's see if she sinks anymore from here, and if it's was a result of her either sinking here or from her angle changing. She looks like she comes down just a little bit. So when she lands, she continues to sink a little bit on that and bends the knee as she comes down. Okay, let's take a look at a few more things. You can see the left arm is right here. I always like to think it's pulling this right foot around, so they work together. And then right here, the left arm kind of stops, and the left hand is going to move back toward the right foot. Kind of an action-reaction thing. So first the left arm worked with the right leg, pulling it around, and now it counters the right foot action as it hooks in, and now it's going to work with the left foot. See how the left arm and the left foot work together until it's planted, and as soon as it plants, now the left arm and the right knee are going to work together. See that? Into the throw. She does something unique here too with the left arm as it comes back, countering the right foot. Her left hand also goes upward, so it's in line with the discus. I've seen Sander Perkovic do the same thing. I think the hand here also helps to raise the discus. Works with that hip, that lean over. And I think, because she could have just had this hand horizontal, but she doesn't. She has it in line with her chest and with the discus. I think throwing it up helps to counter and bring that discus up to the high spot there. Okay, you can see how she lands here. She's got her hip right on top of her foot. She's got that knee way out here past the toes, so she can turn really fast. Her left foot is facing 6 o'clock. See how that left foot comes off and goes right to the front of the circle. Gets right off the ground. Okay, and then from this position here at 6 o'clock, see the left knee, it's going to rotate outward, and the foot's going to drop. The foot right there into the cowboy stance. And when she's there, her body's still going to be leaned back. Now this is the moment her left toes just touch down. You can see her chest and face is still facing the 12 o'clock, the back of the circle. Discus is pretty much behind the heel, so she's really torqued up. Now she's really going to start accelerating that right hip. It's going to pull the discus forward. Then she's going to extend that left leg. Now she's right here. Got the toes are ready to come off the ground on the right foot. She's going to start dragging that right foot forward, and the leg's going to be bent. Now she does that because she wants to get this right hip ahead of the left hip, and the only way to do that is to get the right foot has to come off the ground. You can see right in this position here, her hip is still here and her left foot is here, so there's still an angle backward. She's not vertical. Her chest is aligned with the throwing direction. You can see how her right hip gets past the left. Let's take a look at that left hip right there. As soon as the left foot lands, so you watch her left hip right here. I'll put a line on it. We don't want to see that move forward anymore. You can see it actually is here now. So it's actually rotated back. As the left hip rotates back, the right hip rotates forward. Get a lot of power that way. Even before this left foot comes off the ground, here's the left hip now. It's moved from here to back here, driving that right hip around the left. You see it in the way she plants and in her follow through, her reverse. Okay, so what else can we see here? As she releases, the hand goes up and across the body. She doesn't watch the discus. Her head keeps turning, the shoulders keep turning. The arm at this point is moving faster than the shoulder. You can see it move ahead. Okay. There's one more thing I wanted to point out over here that I remembered is her eyes. Right here, they look at 12 o'clock. They look at 12 o'clock again in the next frame. They're still looking back, and they're still looking back, and they're still looking back. She keeps her head back as long as she can. Now let's take a look at the video on the left. See if we can see that even better. As she comes around, she's looking here at the back of the circle. See her eyes. She's looking back. She's looking back. The whole time that left lower body is moving ahead. The left foot's coming down. The right foot's turning. See, she's still looking back. Still looking back. Keeping those shoulders back. Head is still back. And now the left foot is planted. So here's the right foot touching. See where her eyes are. See where the right or the left shoulder is. Both facing 12 o'clock. Okay, now the hips are at 12. Shoulders facing 3 o'clock. Discus is very high. It's up here at 6 o'clock. The foot's coming up to 6 o'clock here. She's sinking. The discus is still high. She's still looking back. Still looking back. Still looking back. And there. Now the left foot's planted. She's going to start looking forward. Okay, here we can see the right foot's come off the ground. She's going to continue turning that knee to the left. Okay, it's turning inward. This foot, even though it's off the ground, the heel is going to start coming out to the right. See that? That's all for the try to drive this right hip ahead. See, the shoulders are level here. See how that right hip is ahead of the left hip? Left foot is still flat and on the ground. The left leg is extended. And she continues to rotate that right around the left side. Let's see if we can see here the movement of the left arm with the right leg pulling it, stretching. stopping. Now the right hand is going to move in with the right foot like an accordion. They're going to squeeze together. Okay. Now that the right foot's down, now the left arm is going to work with the left foot until it's down. See there? The moment the left foot's down, the left arm is about 9 o'clock. And now this left arm is going to work with this right knee. So left arm, right leg, left arm, right leg, left arm, left leg, left arm, right knee. If you can get those combinations working, your throw will be much more fluid. Let's watch your center of mass now. Like I said, here's the center of the circle. Let's put a line in there. Right about here. Looks like between the two sector lines. Okay, let's watch your center of mass. How it follows that line. Perfect, right there. Look at the head. Right by the looks like it's right between the feet. Okay, see how the heel toe position, left foot, and even with the right heel, look how she rotates right around that axis. Okay, that's where you want to be driving. That's why it's so key to get that right foot to land right there in the center. Okay, keep the knees. See how she moves the knees together? The knees are very close together, very tight. See how that the shin is horizontal? So it's rotating. She's not trying to drive it linearly across. She's rotating it around. Okay, and watch the knee pick up and turn. So when she lands, the left knee is facing out here. If this is 6 o'clock, that's probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock, the left knee when it lands. There's no rotation once it hits the ground. It's rotating in the air. Here, picking the knee, rotating it down. And the right foot then continues around. Okay, well, I wanted to do this video for a long time now, so I'm glad I finally got it done. There's just so much to watch with Valerie Allman. She's such a technician. I wanted to do the video justice for pretty much everything I could think of watching her throw. So I hope you learned something. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I can get some more videos out for you. Thanks very much.